Well, good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to get a chance to talk to you guys about what we do here at Wartburg College. My name is Tim Morrison. I'm the new/old offensive line coach here at Wartburg College in Iowa. This is my second stint, here on campus. I went to school here and played here. Spent 9 years here as the offensive line coach or coordinator, and then moved on to Grand Valley State. So from 2010 to 2019, I was out at Grand Valley State University and had the chance to work with a lot of really good coaches and a lot of really good players, and super excited to share some of the run game fundamentals that we use primarily in the zone schemes that we run, inside zone, outside zone, and looking forward to sharing some ideas, and appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys today. So we'll go ahead and get started. So again, I've got my email there. I officially start next week. So if anybody's got any questions, or feel free to shoot me an email and go from there. The big picture for me, when you look at offensive line play, I try to keep it as simple as possible. It's certainly one of the best positions in all of football, in terms of, being a great teammate and watching a group of guys come together for a common goal is one of the most enjoyable things for me of being the offensive line coach. And so, what we try to do, as you can see here, is really try to coach the guys and not the positions. I think it's our job as an offensive line coach to find our best 5 guys at any given time. So we really cross-train everybody. The center position requires a little bit different mindset, with the snapping and being on the ball and those type of things, but really trying to make sure we can be multiple and getting our best guys out there. Again, there's so many different things going on with what defenses are doing to us now. I believe in keeping it simple. Certainly a process over product. Again, I worked with a lot of great coaches over my time, at the collegiate level. And I really think the commonality between good coaches is focusing on the process and not the product. Whether you're, having success or failures, just focused on the step-by-step. So that is important that we deal with a lot, and really, teach what to do and how to do it. I think one of the things that I always tell our guys that, you can see there, we're not going to have a bunch of fun, fancy drills. I'm not really into having a bunch of unique things to try to make practice fun for them. To me, is we're going to have drills that apply to our game film. And if we are struggling in a certain area, we will make up new drills to address those concerns in our play. And so to me, it's about the daily repetition of being a good offensive lineman. So that's kind of our general philosophy, when I look at coaching the offensive line position on a day-to-day basis. When you look at what we're trying to get done with our stance, again, we are trying to be very balanced and being able to run or pass to have the exact same stance. So when you look at the fundamentally, with you're on the front side of the zone, back side of the zone, pass setting, I think it really requires a good balanced stance where you can see there have our feet, slightly wider than our armpits, good, toe to instep, stagger, on base downs. We get into the obvious passing situations. I'll let our tackles stagger from time to time. We have gotten to the point a little bit too where our tackles may be in a 2-point, just everything's the same except they just don't put their hand down on the ground there. But it is important to me we have all our cleats in the ground. I want to see their heels in the ground, when we start, every single play. I just think it gives them better balance, and allows them to get a better takeoff, from the line of scrimmage. So you would see us a lot of times, and we'll see this once we get to the tape, with our stance, our hips are just going to be slightly, below our shoulders, fairly square in our stance. I think this is, when you do a clinic, you talk about, run game fundamentals. I think this is where we really try to instill in our players that we want to be physical and aggressive, running the football. Again, you can see we're not going to be finesse or position block. We really believe in driving off the ball, fitting our pads, and really trying to move the line of scrimmage. At the end of the day, we're not going to get a lot of statistics, not a lot of publicity. It's a matter of getting your pad level down and moving another human being against his will. That is fun for us. And so the idea of being physical and day to day, the repetitions. But at the end of the day, we line up, get our pads under the defender and knock them off the ball. That's really what all this comes down to, and something we try to get done, in the run blocking side of things. So when you start breaking the thing down, I think to me there's so many different things you can talk about on any given play. Again, it goes back to our general philosophy, trying to keep things simple. When you look at the 3 keys to being successful in the run game: leverage, feet, and hands. So we try to give the guys something to hold on to every play that they can process and helps them have success on a play in, play out basis. So again, this is day one. You learned this at Pee Wee football, right? Leverage. So low man wins. For us, how do we evaluate that? I think it's very simple. At the end of the day, are your pads under the chin of the defender? That's really probably the number one thing we're looking for. As we pause the tape, when we get to our fit on the defender, are your pads under his chin? Yes or no? And I think that's really, doesn't matter what level of football you're playing, that still holds true. And so we try to attack that, which allows us to be powerful, throughout our lower body, with leverage. Feet, we'll get into this once we start talking about some of the individual blocks that we'll cover. But footwork for us, everything we do footwork wise is really about a 2-step progression. The first step is all about getting yourself in position for your second step. So I never talk about 6-inch steps or 12-inch steps. Your first step is 100% based on the alignment of the defender. And so we always want to make sure we're gaining ground the first step. I use a lot of grids. I've used pipes. I get the PVC pipe and cut them to 15 inches or so, just to have the guys practice gaining ground the first step. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. I'll show you how we use lines and pipes as we go along through the tape as well. But really, all your first step is doing is getting you for a position to your second step to make contact. That's, at the end of the day, we contact the defender. Your second step's got to be in the ground, and your first step, helps determine that. And then we stress all the time in our run game about getting our backside knee, and backside pad, through the aiming point. So you start talking, with our zone run game about the, backside knee to crotch, running our pads onto the chest of the defender, and run. Everything we do is about sprinting. The difference for us, instead of running a 40-yard dash, is we're pushing another human while we're doing it. So we're going to be lined up, knees up under our chest, driving our knees to our pecs and pushing the line of scrimmage in our favor. And obviously, we always want to be physical and finish guys in the run game. That's our feet. To me, the third element of our run game fundamentals is the most difficult to master, and that would be your hand placement. For us, we always want to have a powerful inside position with our hands and elbows, up under ourselves. So that's the most powerful position, trying to get inside position. So, a lot of times we talk about leverage, as vertical leverage. We also talk with our hands, kind of gets you into that horizontal leverage, to control the defender. So we're trying to fit our pads, and really, your pads hit first, and your backside hand is kind of simultaneous with that. You can see there the initial blows of the pads, and again, we want to make sure defensive linemen like separation. So in the run game especially, we're trying to run our pads up onto his chest and stay in close proximity to that D lineman so they can't separate from us with that. And so, one of the main coaching points there is when we're watching film from behind is, do they have no arms? Should look like they're playing with no arms with our hands inside, as we work through the final technique, of this. And so, that's the, some of the intro kind of PowerPoint versions of it. I've get a chance to kind of show some tape of how we do this and how we try to utilize it. So this is our fit drill. So I love doing some sort of a fit leverage drill. May not be every day during the season, certainly during spring practice. And, we try to get this thing in. Once you get in the course this season, you may have other things going on. We may not get to it every single day, but just trying to get the guys to understand the fit and leverage drill. So we've got two guys set up here as if we are zone blocking to the left. So this is a zone run game to the left. And you can see what we've got going here is they've come off the ball and they've got a fit. So they've got their second step in the ground. So their inside foot, their backside knee here is in the ground. So now we're going to lead with our third step. So both these guys, should be leaving third step lead. And on purpose, I've got their backside hand misplaced. So there's a number of different ways we do the fit leverage, or we're working perfect fits and all that. But this is, kind of next step of that, where guys start to understand the leverage, of a backside hand. So you can see third step, engage. And then once they, again, continue to drive guys off the ball, you'll watch them reset their right elbow. So again, then you pause the tape, we're back to this alignment, backside pad to backside ankle, lined up, strain vertical. So this is just a easy fit leverage drill. Just had one clip of this just to see, what we're trying to teach with that hand placement. So now getting into some of the specifics for you with a tight reach block. So tight reach is the technique that we would use for primarily inside zone plays, where we are, this is a man type of a block, drive block, base block. We call it tight reach. And so, everything we're doing technically, we try to give the guys an aim point. So the target's the play side number. So we're trying to fit our face on the play side number of the defender. The first step, just like we talked about, in the intro with our run game fundamentals, is our first step is just getting us in position so we can attack our backside knee through the crotch of the defender. So if we have a tighter technique, we may not move as far. We have a wider technique, your first step may have to be a little bit bigger to position your second step. So your first two steps get you to contact. Again, we would say, you get back to the scenario of your elbows in, tight, get your hands under your breastplate, and fit our backside pad and drive our knees. And obviously the last part of that is finish. So this is our tight reach, daily drill. And I'll show you how we get this thing set up here. So you can see, big picture, I like using lines of some sort just to give guys visual keys. So you can't see this here. We've got a red line here that we use on the practice fields there. So that's serving as a line scrimmage. So for us, alignment wise, we always want to be off the ball slightly because we are trying to drive our backside knee into crotch. We're trying to drive and run off the ball. We want to have roughly our helmet around the bottom of the numbers to the hip of the center. So your guards and tackles get a little bit of leeway off the line of scrimmage so we can run. And the coaching point for this is so both these guys are practicing tight reach left with this scenario. So again, for aiming points, I like to put the defender, put his crotch right in the white line. So again, this shows up, and I'll show you our game tape, how this shows up. This is a daily drill for us where this is tight reach left. This could be any left guard, left tackle, could be a tight end getting our drills. It doesn't matter. You see this kid's working as a center, so again, every position gets repped here. At some point in our inside zone play, everyone's going to tight reach left. So that's really the combination we're doing here of working backside knee into his crotch. So it gives you a good picture here. Yes, get some crossover. Here we go. That's better tape here. So again, good picture. Backside knee, foot's on the line, defender's crotch on the line. So we're trying to work zone block to right, get backside knee in the crotch of the defender here. Again, this gives you a little better look at the red line here, as well. So the coaching point here, this is a good picture here. You pause the tape. I really like the pad level of the kid here on the left. Does a good job. You can see, again, gives you just big picture wise. I'm not a big fan of using the shoots, practice our techniques. I think we're always going to be blocking humans. So we try to get having a defender be low pad level. But great example here. If I pause the tape, good job. He's got his face on the play side number. I like his pad under the chin of the defender. Now, this is a great example here. We've made contact with our left pad. His left shoe is not in the ground yet. So if this were a game rep, more than likely, we've got a pretty good chance of getting, kind of getting up on our right foot, kind of a pogo stick here as a defender. So he's just a little slow with his left shoe. And you can see he's a little short getting his left shoe on that white line. But I like the fact he's gaining ground. Really good job. He's trying to get his left shoe to the line of scrimmage back in the ground before contact. What this does is you can see, gets him a little bit disjointed. Now, the nice thing is, so we spend a lot of time here trying to get our fits, backside knee in the ground on contact. Now, strain and run vertical. He does a good job coming out of it. I like his knee drive, like his pad level, which again can overcome a lot of deficiencies with your second step. The kid here on the right, does a better job here, I think. Pick it up, put it down. Left shoes in the ground on contact. I think he can gain a little bit more ground to his left shoe towards the line of scrimmage. But you pause the tape, there's what we're looking for. Good straight line from his backside pad to his backside ankle. Pad level, knee drive and run. Good job here by the defenders, I think, keeping both those guys pad level low. Again, another good picture of it. So again, I've got line of scrimmage here. Tight reach left. So again, you can see I've got a left side lineman here, right side lineman here. Again, a lot of good combinations of people, so always get our best guys in the field. Good look here, the kid on the right. Pick it up, put it down. Pause the tape. So on contact, his right shoe's in the ground, his face in the place of the armpit. Good. Now pad level, I like it. It's below the chin. Knee drive and run. Strain, run vertical. If we are going to change the line of scrimmage, our hips need to be going down the field. So we're always trying to get our lower body in position to do that. Pick it up, put it down. 1, 2, boom, there's your fit. Good. Now run, strain, and finish. Let's get a look at it. Kid does a good job here. Again, gives you a great picture here, the kid on the left. Pick it up, put it down. Not sure he needs to go that far to the left when the crotch is that tight to him. But again, great example. The kid just doesn't quite trust his strength yet. I like his backside knee is in the ground. It's vertical, but you can see how he's disconnected here. He's not quite lined up, so he's not as powerful. There, now he gets lined up. So you can see the difference here of these two kids, on contact. He's lined up. This is what we're looking for. Backside of your body in a zone block is lined up, fit and drive. He's not quite lined up, so he's not going to be as powerful. Now, his body does auto-correct. So I like the idea of how he's running. Good knee drive. We just got to continue. He had to continue to work to get in that position with his body as he gets to the fit there. So he picks it up, put it down, 1, 2. He's just a little off balance, doesn't quite trust his core. But the one reason I really like these techniques that we use is their bodies just auto-correct, in terms of being lined up and sprinting. This is a really good example of an older kid here on the right that's been with us, had been with us for a while. So this is tight reach left. So it picks up, puts it down. Right shoe in the ground contact, fit his right pad. Again, pause the tape. Older kid, he's on the play side number. His pad's under his chin. I like it. There he's lined up. And again, this line just serves as a visual for the kid where his backside knee is in the crotch of the defender. So his right knee and right foot should be running right down this line the entire drill. It's a really good fit. I like the idea of these shin angles. If we're going to push another object or a human against their will, our shin angle has got to be in a positive so we can push and drive. So I'll give you a couple of looks at it here just from full speed standpoint. Now, this gives you another good look. This is a true freshman. So you can see the difference in terms of how we're trying to teach it. So the young kid hasn't quite figured out yet. So you can see, first of all, his first step, we talk about being position step, is way too big. So as soon as he takes that big of a step, there's no way that his backside knee can go vertical. So he misses the aim point. So this is the classic example to me of how we end up running around defenders. He is working lateral. He's going to the side here instead of going vertical into the line of scrimmage. Big first step, creates a big second step. So now he's off base. So he's missed the defender. So now the nice thing that he does is once he gets to the fit, he still does a decent job of driving his knees and pushing, because that's a natural movement for these guys as they are lined up and run. So that's why we spend a bunch of time just trying to get markers for these guys, get them to understand the differences. Another good picture. Now, I put this on. Here's a good look. This is a center. So center is a little different. He doesn't have the luxury of being off the line of scrimmage like the guards and tackles do. So our center, he ends up, stepping backwards just a little bit. So helps him clear his backside knee. But again, you pause the tape. He's done a pretty good job here. He's cleared his first step to clear his hip. I like that his backside knee is vertical into the line of scrimmage. So this serves as the line of scrimmage for him here. And it's on the line, which is the crotch of the defender. So it's a pretty good look here. This kid was a multiple year, first team all conference player for us, did a great job. But again, now there's the fit, play side number, hands under his breastplate, now drive. I like this. Again, I love his shin angle here, how we're getting good vertical push here now. So his center is a little bit different. He just loses a little bit of ground to get to it. Another great picture here of a young kid on the left then. Okay, so again, you see the young kids, you start talking zone run game to some young guys, and they naturally just think everybody just kind of takes off to the right or left. They don't quite understand initially the idea of being vertical. So his first step's a little big, which causes him to make contact with his right pad with his right shoe not on the ground yet. So if this were a live rep, the defender is going to have a chance to push us up onto our left shoe, and hard to get any vertical push then. But again, once he gets to this position, now his body just naturally corrects itself. So what we spent a lot of time working this fit progression, how to get to this spot. And a lot of times just naturally they'll run and drive their knees for you. Again, they're a good look at a center here. So again, you can see the different ways we're drilling this. This is actually a tight end, which would be on the back side of our inside zone stuff, working tight reach. Center, again, does a good job of clearing his, kind of steps backward, clears his hip. Not bad. He's a little short with his backside knee, not quite in the crotch. But I like he's lined up. Backside pad to his backside ankle. Good. Strain, push, and run vertical. Here's a young tight end here on the right side. 2 steps, pick it up, put it down. Again, doesn't need to work that much to the right with that type of technique, but for the most part, he's pretty close. Young kid getting it. Love the positive shin angle. Fit his pads. Good. Knee drive and run. I don't love his knee drive here. Again, this young kid, you can see he's, to me, he's kind of flopping his ankles, not driving his knees up under his chest like some of his older guys do, and that's he starts to figure out the more you do it. This is just something I put on here. I like to do this now and again just to get the guys to understand what we're looking for in terms of driving off the ball. So out on the schoolyard, if someone gets pushed from behind, naturally their body tries to recover and balance. So I'm trying to teach and get them to understand to drive their left knee up under their chest to stay on their feet. So I just, every once in a while, I don't even tell them I'm doing it. You just walk up behind them, just get them to understand the violence and the urgency you're trying to get off the ball with, and getting your second steps in the ground. So now I've got some clips here. This is tight reach. So if you watch so right now this is inside zone to the left. So really every single lineman, including the tight end, is thinking tight reach left. So everybody's thinking, play side arm, play side number is our aim point, get my backside knee as crotch, and let's push vertical. So this is a good example here of our center. Does a really good job. So you can see how I've got the drill set up in practice. That defender's, crotch is roughly on the left foot of our center. Center clears his hip. Good, he pause the tape. Pretty good look. Backside pad to the backside ankle. We're fit up on the defender. Drives his knees. Gets a good push of it. Obviously, when we're doing our drill work, I'll typically have them push, 4 to 6 seconds. And in a perfect world, we want to move the line of scrimmage. I like, when I put our teach tapes together for our kids, I like using plays where the ball is right on the yard line, because when our running back gets to the line of scrimmage here, we've got pretty much every guy has cleared his heels in the line of scrimmage. So that to me is, you start playing good teams, the type of teams that you want to play in big games. If we can get that type of push, we've got a chance here. This is a really good picture of the center here with a tight reach left. Backside tackle. Again, you see the same combination here. He's lined up as if he was foot on the line. The defender's on that line. He's going tight reach left. Fits his pad under chin. He works vertical. Defender has behind him, so he ends up kind of just boxing him out. Let's go look at it. Here's another good picture. So we've got inside zone to the left. So right now, again, every single player is thinking tight reach left. Again, I really like the fit of the left tackle. They're working combination up here. Pick it up, put it down. Probably doesn't need to step backwards as much as he does. But if you pause the tape, this kid's in pretty good shape. Backside knee in the crotch. Backside pad is fit up. That's a good straight line. I like his shin angle. Allows him to push. Again, it's another great rep of our center. Tight reach in the nose. Clears backside pad. Good, pause the tape. A little bit high maybe, but right pad down to his right ankle, lined up. He's square. His hips are square so we can push down the field. Change the line of scrimmage in our favor. So it gets him here good. Now strain vertical, fit your pad, strain vertical. It's a good look at it here. Tailback's in the, it's a B gap inside zone play. Another really good picture then here. Same concept, backside tackle. He's thinking tight reach left. Now, if you pause the tape, you can see a difference. He ends up a little bit short. He didn't, but again, you see how we're setting the drill up. This defender's crotch is right on this white line where we'd have his foot in a practice. And you see how he ends up just a little bit short. So we'd like to end up on the play side. We should be on the play side number over here, not the backside number. He does a pretty good job keeping running. Another really good look here at the right tackle. So tight reach right on inside zone play here. Now we're kind of a foot-to-foot alignment. So first step can be a little bit bigger. Good. Pause the tape. Might be a little high. Left pad's not on the chin of the defender here. But I like how his left hand is lined up. So again, you've got good angle, backside pad down to his backside ankle is lined up. So here we're able to move the defensive end, against his will, line up in a B gap inside zone play and get thing pushed. We really work a lot with our zone run game that we're not, if we're going to push to the sideline, it's because the defender is running to the sideline, not because of what we're trying to do. We're trying to strain vertical and push vertical. Gives him a real good look here. Good pad level, good knee drive, keeps running the whole play. Again, they're a good look at our center. He's got help from the right guard here. But again, there he's lined up. Good fit with his left pad. left knee. Here, I like to show this now you got the defender's hips turned towards the sideline. So you may not get as much vertical push, but you should get more of that horizontal separation that you're looking for. Again, really good picture here. Backside guard is thinking tight reach this defender. Don't love his fit, don't love his hand. So this is why we do that fit leverage, trying to redirect his backside hand. Ends up okay. Another real good look at our center. Center's thinking tight reach left. Really like how he's trying to strain, try to get his hips square and push vertical. Really good look at it there. Left tackle is in pretty good shape. Again, tight reach left. Fit your left pad. Excuse me, fit your right pad, get your right shoe in the ground, strain and run. Really good picture here of the right guard. Tight reach right. So again, you can see how just try to get as many drills set up as I can, as we'll see in games. He's tight reaching the 3 technique here. Great. Really good example. Exactly what we talked about, we saw in our practice tape. All right. He's pad level's a little high. He's not driving off the ball. So we make contact. We're not under his chin, and our left shoe was not in the ground contact. So this is not a great fit, which causes him to not get much movement. Now you can see he's not lined up. Okay. Again, the reason I really believe in these techniques is that his body, as he works to regain pad level, his body naturally just recovers. And we're still able to, this to me would be a good example of surviving the rep. Get your pads down, drive your knees. We got a chance to have some success. Again, we use this a lot in our room watching the tape. Okay, as we're line of scrimmage is right here just off the yard line. Can we drive our knees? He does a pretty good job there. For as bad as his fit is, does a really good job of continuing to drive his knees. Again, really good picture here. Backside guard is tight reach. Defender's a little further off his body, so he needs to get going. He doesn't take good enough first step, allows him to be a little bit short. So we never want to be in this scenario, in our zone plays. But the right guard does a good job. Again, I thought it was a good explanation of how we're doing this thing here. Another great picture, inside zone to the right. Again, this wide view, I think, just gives you a good picture, especially our 2 guards. I'll show you the 2 guards here on the tight. I'm just working pad level knee drive to change the line of scrimmage. So our tailback gets the line of scrimmage. We pretty much get everybody moved. But again, you can see the drill set up that we're just showing you for drill tape. So both the guards are doing tight reach right here. They're lined up with their foot on the line. The defender's crotch is on the line. Here we go. Again, pretty good picture here. The right guard takes too big of a first step. So now his second step's a little slow. So it doesn't end up great. Here's what I really like about what he does here is he does redirect his hips, and now he starts to strain vertical. Again, I like his pads under the chin of the defender. So that does make up for a lot of our bad footwork. Again, we don't want to not be physical, and too worried about our technique. The backside guard does a pretty good job. He's a little high. You see our hips are square, pushing down the field. Even right here, the backside tight end is doing the exact same thing, exact same technique. He fits square, drive our knees. We like to pause the tape when the tailback gets to the line of scrimmage. We've got to drive our knees and push vertical. Another really good look at the backside guard here. He's tight reach left, head up 2 technique. Pick it up, put it down. Here's a great example. See how his backside knee is a little too flat. So he's disconnected, just like we saw in the practice film. but his pad level is good. He continues to run. And again, we pause the tape. He does have his feet, line of scrimmage is 2 yards off this line. Running back gets the line of scrimmage. We got 2 yards down the field. So his pad level and knee drive are critical to our techniques. So that's the tie reach, in terms of how we teach it, how we drill it, what it looks like on some film. And that's primarily, again, a base block, drive block. That's inside zone. So now I'd like to transition to our wide reach, which is the man technique we use in our outside zone stuff. So obviously we're trying to get the ball wider in our outside zone. So we would change this to a wide reach. One of the things that we look at here, what changes? Well, the first thing that changes is the aim point, right? His target becomes the play side armpit. So we'll move slightly off the play side number to the play side armpit. The first step does not change. It's the exact same in terms of what we're trying to get done is open our hips a little bit. Again, some guys call it bucket step. We just call it an open step, with our hips. And that's, again, purely to get our body in position to get our second step back in the ground through the crotch of the defender. So that changes based on how wide the defender is. Everything else stays the same in terms of elbows in. Because of the alignment with our face, we do typically say we kind of move our hands kind of to the sternum and to the play side bicep with our hands. But again, all this stays the same. Drive your knees up under your pads, under your chest to stay upright and finish. So there's so wide reach, you're thinking place it armpit, backside knee through crotch. So here the setup is a little bit different. Again, I've got the sideline here is our line of scrimmage. So you've got a left guard and our right tackle here working the exact same drill of an outside zone play to the left, wide reach left. So we do widen the defender. In this scenario, you can see I've got the defender's crotch is on the hash tick. This gives this line a little bit short, but again, to give our guys visual of what this should look like. So we're trying to get our face out here to the place at armpit, backside knee to the crotch with both of these. So this is a really good example. If you look at the key on the right here, does a really good job. Open his hips and drives his backside knee to the crotch. So the key coaching point to this with our wide reach is that you can see we're going to be crossed over. We're trying to run and drive off the ball, so we'll be crossed over. The number one component to this is make sure that the backside toe and backside knee are still pointed vertical down the field. When we make contact with the defender, we will not be square with our hips because it's a wider defender. We're trying to get to the edge, but the goal is the third step should get them back to square. So both these kids are doing a great job. They're working to get their face out to the place at armpit, backside knee to the crotch of the defender. You can see both their knee and their toe are square, pointed down the field. Now watch both these guys square up their third step. So that third step, so I love both these guys are always gaining ground, applying pressure to their, we want vertical pressure on their aim points. There you go. Pause the tape. Now we've gotten a pretty good shape here where our hips are now square so we can push the line of scrimmage in our favor. Good fit. Good. Now strain and run vertical. It's a good look at both those guys. Again, you can see the setup of the drill. Again, you can't see, I've got a red line here is the line of scrimmage. Again, the key on the right. Okay, so we're thinking outside zone to the left. So let's get out and go. Good position step. Good, open your hips. Good, drive your backside knee. He's a little flat with his backside knee. You can see he's not quite to the red line. He can be a little more vertical. But I love his fit with his backside pad with his face. And you can see right here, he is definitely not square. But the whole key to outside zone, in my opinion, is backside knee and backside toe are vertical. Watch his third step now. Continue to gain ground the defender, strain vertical. Boom, there we go. So now he's regained that leverage, working outside pad and strain. So he's a little big with his second step, a little flat. The whole key to being off the ball is they should not be flat with their second step. They should be in the line of scrimmage with it. Kid on the left, again, you can see the difference. Too big with his first step, and again, he points his toe to the sideline. Hard to go vertical if you point your toe to the sideline. He can be a little more square with his first step. Again, I like where he ends up. Backside knee. Good, now strain and run. Again, gives you a good look at the setup, how we're getting it done here. Outside zone to right. Again, pause the tape. You can see how we're crossover, we're running physical. Backside toe, backside knee is vertical. Because of the wide defender, our hips are not square to push downfield yet. So his third step, now strain square. Boom, there he is. It's a good look at it. Lift. Now strain and run. Good job getting his pads under the chin. And this gives you a good example here. You see how this kid's disconnect a little bit here with his second step. That's because his first step's just too big. We try all the time. We don't worry about being crossover. We want to try to run and get our backside cleat in the ground. Good. Now he works to strain and get vertical. I like this kid. Good job. He's doing a good job driving his knee. Tries to auto correct here. Again, this gives you a picture just how we try to drill it. You know, how we do the setup. So again, the kid on the left here was. So here you've got this is our starting left tackle. This is our starting right guard. So again, we're getting a lot of similar reps. Outside zone to the left, wide reach left. Good. So we're a little short here. So Ken left a little short. Doesn't quite get his backside knee in the last scrimmage like he should. But again, good job running. He eventually gets to it. Good lift, strain, run vertical. Again, you can see the kid on the right here. He kind of torques his knee, gets some good drive and push there. I like it. There you go. There's pause the tape. Right pads fit, right shoes in the ground. Now, third step. Let's go. Gain ground still. Third step, strain, get vertical, and now let's run. We're going to look at there. Again, the kid is the center. So again, the center is a little bit different. He's got to, kind of lose some ground here to clear his backside knee. The key to this, again, is we don't want to lose ground. He shouldn't be stepping under himself. He may lose some ground by stepping backwards here to clear his second step. But again, you pause the tape. Love how his backside toe and backside knee are vertical. So we're applying vertical pressure on the aim point. Now he's really squaring up that third step to strain and run. Again, this gives you a good picture. We teach our tight ends the exact same thing. So he's got, an outside zone player to the left with like an overhang backer. You can see how this is a great picture. Teach tape how he misses. His right shoe, once we get out there, should be in the crotch of the defender. So he kind of misses. I like how he starts to turn his toe and square and get vertical. He just got to do it sooner here. So I put this on here so you guys can see the difference. He just misses a little bit. He should be start straining vertical here to the crotch. Again, there's center right here. So he steps backwards a little bit different than everybody else to clear second step. Pretty good here. Should be a little more vertical the second step. But again, 1, 2, good. Good fit with his backside pad. Elbows could be tighter, but now strain and run vertical that third step. Right there. Really good job at squaring himself up in the third step. Just a little bigger by the time on the left. So he's better. He's got backside in the crotch. He's still working to strain vertical. I got some good game clips of this here for you to see. Really good pictures. So you see the setup here. The right tackle is running outside zone to the right. Very similar to the setup that we saw on our practice tape. probably take a little bit better position step, but I really love how his backside knee and backside toe are square, even versus a wide defender. Backside knee, backside toe is square. So now his third step should work to get square. There he goes, works to get square. Real good look at it. Good. This is definitely where this backside hand drill can come in handy for him. He can work to reset that thing. Same scenario, you got the center is working wide reach, just like we saw in the setup. The defender ends up behind him. So he ends up kind of turning back here. Again, another really good look here at the right tackle. Working wide reach. He's getting help from the tight ends to work back up into the box here. Even the tight end is thinking wide reach, this defender. He's obviously more vertical because he's already on the aim point of the defender. But really good look here. Our tackle is not square here because of the wide defender. But watch him start to get that backside knee and toe pointed vertical. Here comes his next step, working to get up the field and square. Sorry, we'll get a good edge set here again. I like these because the line of scrimmage is easy to see for our guys in the film room. Tailback gets to the line of scrimmage. We're clearly playing on their side of the ball, which is always a positive thing in the run game. Real good look here. The right guard is working wide reach right as well. Backside knee is not quite vertical enough for me here. He's a little flat. This is the prime example of if he's going to be flat with that second step, then we should move him up closer to the line of scrimmage. But because he's off the ball like we are, he should be getting vertical, applying vertical pressure with the second step. He's flat, so you can see he ends up a little flat here. What I do like is he is working to get square with his third step right there. And we end up okay. We got a wide aim point here on the back, so ends up decent, but we're getting very little to no vertical push because the second step's not vertical around the gate. Even the backside guard is doing the same thing. Wide reach right. Gives you a good picture there. This one I think really illustrates the wide shot especially. Gives you a great picture of what we're trying to get done with our outside zone. So you can scheme this thing up, every which way but loose, especially in the boundary, outside zone to the boundary. But this is teaching for our kids to get them to understand we're running outside zone to the boundary. Doesn't mean everybody just turns their hips to the sideline and runs to the sideline. We're trying to get vertical push down the field. So I think this picture gives a great picture of, you can see how we are moving the line of scrimmage on outside zone, but our hips are square. So running back is right now to the line of scrimmage. We've got a lot of guys pushing and moving down the field. So good job by the guys running here. Really good picture of our tight end. This is a tackle wearing a tight end jersey. Good fit with his left pad. We'll see in the tight as well. Left pad, left knee. Running to get square. It's a great picture of it. So again, this is a tight end / tackle that we put in an eligible number sometimes to help set the edge in outside zone play. You see a tight view of it here. You can watch his fit. Good fit with this backside pad. Again, you can see how as he's working to run and strain vertical, his knees and toes are always pushing down the field. Real good rep for him. Like the tackle here, he's working to overtake it. The DN plays wide, so he ends up on the backer. Again, good picture here. Left tackle, wide reach to defensive end. Again, I think he's getting help from the tight end here. His first step, you can see, should be gaining more ground to the left. But like how it works to get vertical, the DN tries to cut underneath of him, and we're able to get the edge set here. Real good look here too. Teach tape here for the backside guard. Same scenario, wide reach left. Pretty good fit, end up getting the thing pinned. Again, real good example. Wide reach, wide reach. He is trying to wide reach this defender. Watch the tight end here first. Good first step. Love how his backside knee is in the crotch and knee and toe pointing down the field. Defender jumps outside, so we didn't try to switch and try to work horizontal separation here. Really good picture, I think, of illustrates the difference. So he's wide reaching this defender, and so is he. So he's trying to push the tackle through the second level. So even though these guys are both wide reach right on this defender, their footwork's going to be different because of the alignment is different. So you see the tackle doesn't really do much of a first step. He kind of gathers to get a second step in the ground. He's in pretty good fit. Meanwhile, here comes the guard working to push him through. He's really working to cross over and run. But I love how his second step is still getting vertical. Even though that's a wide defender, he's still able to put vertical pressure on that defender. Now watch his third step, really get him square. Really allows us to get to the edge of the defense here on outside zone play. Center's doing the same thing. You can see the setup here we had in practice. He's wide reaching this defender. Defender tries to push him by and backdoor, we get the edge. So I like these techniques. I think if we're doing them correctly, it's very hard for these kids on defense to decide if it's a wide reach or tight reach. Should feel very similar to them. Again, great picture, got a right tackle. I don't have a great behind view of it. But you can see the fit here. So again, these two are trying to fit here. How his hips are always trying to get square. He eventually stays with it and stays square and gets the vertical push finally. Takes him longer than we like him to, but it gives you a good picture of how we try to fit and stay with it. Hips are always working square. Another good, really good picture here. Left guard and center are both wide reaching the three technique to get to this linebacker. Again, I like the fit. I like the fit. We've got pad under chin. Center's working to push him to the second level. Our hips are square. Certainly the center is not square initially. But if you watch his backside, his right toe is always working to push vertical. Same scenario. You see all these guys are working wide reach. Backside guards working to overtake shade. He never gets any vertical push. The number 90 tries to end up backdooring it. A good picture here. A good picture here. Again, these two are working wide reach on the end. You can see now the tackle gets a little bit lazy, ends up a little bit short. He's kind of chopping his feet, not driving off the ball, ends him up being short. So I put this on here. You can see he's not, he takes for granted the guy's lined up heavy to him. He's not running to it. Center, I think, does a really good job again of wide reach right. You see how his hips aren't square, but his backside knee and toe are. He's still running. He finally gets the vertical push we're looking for because he's always trying to keep his toes and knees pointing vertical, even though his hips may not be there yet. Again, great picture. Left tackle, wide reach left for an outside zone. He gets in bad shape right here. This is a perfect example. You see him kind of step backwards, or you can say no step at all, which causes him to be short the second step. We're not getting vertical push. So now he's in a struggle to try and get square to push. He finally gets there, but by then it's too late. We've got the thing strung out. We're getting no vertical push. That comes back to, again, why we try to get feet on the lines to start so we can gain some ground our first step. You know, he's spent the whole play trying to catch up here. Really good look at the center, wide reach left. You see him always working to get square and push. He eventually gets it. He gets the defender to backdoor it, but our tackle doesn't help the thing out. Again, really, I put this on a real good picture here. These two, the center and the backside guard, run outside zone to the left. Center and the backside guard working wide reach on this defender to this backer. Really like the backside guard. Really like the center here. You see how his center is getting his toes pointed down the field. Backside guards working overtake. Love it. You run to your fit. Run your pads to the defender. So now he's working to get that backside. He finally gets the aim point. Now he can start working square. There's good separation of the defense here. Same scenario. You can see this backside tackle, wide reach, just like we had set up in practice. Backside toe, his hips aren't square, but his backside knee and toe are pointed vertical. I'm not sure if the three technique is moving here or just slow out of stance, but there we end up getting the edge set, you know, for outside zone play.